welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking into something that, well, it seems pretty simple on the surface, but it's actually, I think, a bit of a superpower. We're talking about polite way to ask for help in English.
Absolutely. You know, we often get caught up in the big, the complex grammar points.
Right, the tricky stuff.
But honestly, mastering these small, courteous ways of asking, it can just make such a difference in your everyday interactions.
And think about it when you're, learning something new or maybe facing a challenge. Asking for help can feel, it can feel a bit vulnerable.
It really can.
You might hold back, right? Not want to bother people or feel like you're imposing. But our listeners, they tune in because they want to gain knowledge quickly.
And thoroughly.
Exactly, thoroughly, without feeling overwhelmed. And knowing how to ask for help nicely. It's a big part of it.
It really is. It's even about like efficiency in learning. Instead of just getting stuck on something, knowing how to phrase a polite request, it lets you get the information you need and just keep moving forward, keep that momentum.
Okay, so our mission today, it's pretty straightforward, but I think really crucial. We want to equip you with some easy, polite English phrases for when you need a hand. We've dug into some great material from an English learning podcast, actually. And these aren't just, random words.
Oh, they're tools.
Yeah, little tools. Tools that can lead to much smoother conversations and actually help with personal growth, too. Okay, let's jump in. Where should we start?
Well, I think a good place to begin is with phrases that are, direct, but still respectful.
Okay.
How to clearly say what you need, but also show you're considering the other person.
Right. The material we looked at highlighted a really clear one. Could you help me, please?
Simple, direct.
Very direct, easy to get.
Yeah.
And that little word, please, it just softens it, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It makes all the difference. It signals you're not, making a demand.
No, it's a request, a favor.
Exactly. A favor. And as our source material pointed out, you can easily make this more specific.
Yes, that's a great point. Instead of just the general phrase, you could say, could you help me with this report, please? Or maybe, could you help me understand this word, please? Given that context. Well, it makes it much easier for the other person.
Right, much easier for them to know how to help you, which in turn makes them more likely to actually give you the help you need.
Makes sense.
Now, building on that, the material also introduced a slightly gentler way of asking.
Okay. Would you mind helping me? I find the nuance here quite interesting. Why is that one seen as a bit softer?
Well, the phrase, would you mind? Technically, it's asking if they would object, if it would bother them.
Okay, right.
So by saying, would you mind helping me? You're kind of implicitly acknowledging that, hey, maybe they can't. Maybe they have reasons not to.
I see.
Which makes it feel very considerate.
That really does make sense. It feels less direct, almost like you're testing the waters a little bit first.
Okay.
And here's another one. The material shared quite a friendly way to start things off. Can I ask for your help? What's the thinking behind using that one?
Well, what's interesting there is you're actually asking for permission first. Permission just to ask for help.
Right. Before you even state the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a way of respecting their time, their attention, before you launch into your actual need.
And the material mentioned the kind of responses you often get to that, doesn't it? Like a quick, of course, or sure.
Usually very positive, yes.
Which really shows that, people are generally pretty willing to lend a hand if you just ask nicely.
It does. It sets a really positive tone right from the start. And speaking of small things having a big impact, let's just underline the power of please and thank you.
Oh, absolutely essential. The material we looked at really drove this home. How much these simple words add to a positive interaction. It's a good reminder that learning English isn't just about, verb conjugations. It's also these small social graces.
Precisely. They signal courtesy, appreciation, things that are just fundamental to good relationships, really, whether you're learning a language or just, talking to anyone.
True.
And here's another phrase from the material, one that really shows you're thinking about the other person's time.
Which one's that?
If you have a minute, could you help me? I think this one's particularly thoughtful.
Me too. Yeah, that's a really good one. It acknowledges they might be busy.
Right.
That you're not expecting them to just drop everything instantly for you.
Exactly. It shows respect for their schedule, their commitments. And this really gets at the idea that good communication is more than just the words.
Yeah, it's the feeling behind them.
It's the consideration you show, that kindness woven into the language, as you said earlier.
It's so true. The material even had that relatable story, the real life example.
Ah, yes, Emma in the coffee shop. When she blanked on the word receipt. How does she handle that again?
Right. Well, instead of getting all flustered, she just politely said something like, "Excuse me, could you help me? What's the word for? The paper you get after buying something."
Simple to light.
Exactly. Simple, direct, polite requests.
And the outcome.
Well, the cashier understood straight away, smiled, and just said, "Receipt."
Yeah.
It was super quick, but, a success for Emma. Little victory.
Yeah.
It's just a perfect little example of how politeness works.
It really is. And it shows that asking for help isn't, a weakness. It's actually a proactive, smart way to communicate and learn.
Definitely.
And if we think a bit bigger, asking for help has benefits way beyond just language learning, right?
Oh, absolutely. The material we reviewed touched on how it actually helps build connections with people. It's a social skill.
It truly is a fundamental social skill. Lets you build relationships, learn from others, just navigate the world more easily. It's practical life stuff, not just school stuff. And as our source pointed out, every single time you ask a small question, every time you say, "Could you help me?" it's genuinely a step forward.
Another step on your learning journey. And those little wins, like Emma getting the word receipt, they really do add up, don't they? They keep you motivated.
They really do. They build your confidence bit by bit, encourage you to keep trying, keep engaging.
Okay, so maybe let's quickly recap those key phrases we talked about, the ones the material highlighted.
Good idea. So we had, "Could you help me, please?"
The direct one.
Then, "Would you mind helping me?"
The softer approach.
"Can I ask for your help?"
Friendly opener.
"And if you have a minute, could you help me?"
Showing consideration for their time.
Yeah.
Those are great takeaways.
Definitely some useful tools for the toolkit. And the material also gave some good advice about, getting over that hesitation, that feeling shy about asking.
Yes. It basically said, look, asking for help is actually brave and smart.
It is. It shows you want to learn, you want to grow. And as the source stressed, most people are actually quite happy to help.
Especially when asked politely.
Exactly. It reflects well on you that you were considerate enough to ask nicely in the first place.
And building on that idea of support, the material also talked about how important it is to have like a supportive environment around you.
Oh, this is crucial. For learning anything, really, having friends, maybe teachers who encourage you, it makes a massive difference.
It's a huge difference. Yeah. For progress, for confidence.
Mm-hmm.
The material used that lovely analogy, didn't it? About a supportive environment being like good soil for a tree.
Yeah, helping it grow strong. I like that too. It's a really vivid image.
It really is.
It just perfectly captures how being around positive, encouraging people helps you grow and makes those inevitable challenges feel, less scary.
Right. And there was even that example, wasn't there, about someone joining an English group and improving much faster because of it.
Yes, that direct experience shared in the source. It really highlights the power of being around supportive people on the same path.
It really does. And it doesn't have to be huge things either. The material mentioned even just one small conversation a day.
Yeah, those small interactions.
They add up. They lead to significant progress over time.
Yeah.
It all comes back to those small, consistent steps, those baby steps.
Precisely. Small, regular actions, especially in a supportive setting, they really do yield big results down the line.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main thing you'd want our listener to really take away from this?
I think the core idea is that big changes, like really getting knowledgeable about something or mastering a skill like English, they often start with really small, deliberate actions. And in this case, it can be as simple as just consciously using polite phrases when you need to ask for a bit of help.
Exactly. So maybe here's a little challenge, a small action for you listening today. Try to ask someone for help using one of these phrases.
It doesn't have to be big.
No, not at all. Just a small request. Think of it as like practicing.
Yeah.
Building that confidence muscle and actually using these tools.
Yeah, putting it into practice. And maybe a final thought to leave with our listeners.
Okay.
Just consider this. How might regularly and effectively asking for help, even in small ways, actually speed up your learning? Not just in English, but maybe in other areas of your life too. It's a surprisingly powerful skill.